Hold my tongue never. I say what I feel. Look you in the eye. Never ran, never will. Hold my own destiny. Both hands on the wheel. In the darkness they found light. So at the top of your lungs scream, this ain't life. So when they move left, you move right. You move right. Hold my tongue never. I say what I feel. Look you in the eye. Never ran, never will. Hold my own destiny. Both hands on the
All right. Well, welcome everyone to tonight's episode of LUDE Presents Rabbit Holes. Um, for all those who have watched before or all those that come after, I'm going to start off every episode with just a little intro here because, as you probably know, this is a newer show. We're just kind of building the content library here for everyone. Um, but what the show is. I mean, we have a bunch of different things going on here. Whatever we want to do, pretty much. But these episodes are pretty much just, I like to say it's like a 1 hour uh, car ride or lunch break with somebody you don't really know that well. For example, I have a guest on tonight. His name's Ransom D Coslett. He's a first time author. And, it kind of worked out perfectly because we started talking today and we got Halloween coming up. And he just happened to write his first book, which is called After Midnight. It's 12 terrifying stories. So we're going to bring him on here and learn a little bit about him and the book and the process. And I think it coincides pretty well here with this week coming up Halloween. So Ransom, welcome aboard, sir. Thanks for joining us this
Yeah,
evening.
yeah. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So as I said, this show is all about meeting new people, and I'm trying to get my start here with a podcast, and I want
Mhm.
to help all of our potential, viewers, listeners, and others. I want to help them get their start. And, like I said, this is your first book you put out, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. So it's called After Midnight 12 Terrifying Stories. And I would love for you to tell myself and the audience a little bit about what's it about.
Okay. After midnight, I got my copy right here. But
Awesome. Yeah.
it's a collection of 12 different stories that I've written over the years and compiled. That if you're a
Yeah.
horror fan, has a little bit of everything. A couple paranormal stories. A couple gory stories, I guess, stuff like that. So
Interesting. So I'll tell you what, I mean, I probably say this like every episode. It worked out perfectly, whatever. But
yeah, yeah.
it really did because part of why this podcast is so much fun. It started off for like me and friends. I
Hmm.
don't. I'm an adult. I got children. I got a family. I don't get to go out too much, do anything. So this was like one of the only opportunities we had to kind of meet up and talk and laugh and have fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and it's fun to come on here and talk about these things because, for example, in a couple of the people will maybe learn the terminology, but we call it like the think tank. It's a bunch of us. We just go in there and we act stupid and we blurt out a bunch of things and what's funny, what sticks, and
Yeah.
we talked about like these stories, and I may end up doing something with these stories because I know like there's podcasts out there like Mr. Ballin, I think, and
Hmm.
like the short stories like that. So I'm contemplating maybe doing something like that because we've actually jotted down some things that were funny. But I mean, it's have you ever considered doing something like that? I guess like with your
No,
story.
I haven't, but I mean, it'd be something I'd be up for. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's if you got your Facebook page, maybe if you get a YouTube page and you just go on there and you kind of, I mean, it would ruin the book. People wouldn't have to buy it if you read them on there.
yeah,
Still, maybe it's an opportunity for you.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
So you said you've been writing these like over the years. Is that something that's always been just like a fun pastime, or how
Uh,
is that?
yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed, reading. This book, it's probably stories from like the past 10 years, from like 2009 to about 2019 when I finished this. And then I shopped it around a little bit, and now it's out. So, but
So I guess what did the shopping around? So it's been 3 years then. So
yeah.
tell us about like the 3 years of shopping around. How
Uh,
how did that
so
work?
So it's a long process if you go through like a traditional publisher. And I talked to three. One I didn't hear back from. One wasn't interested. Then the third one they sent me a contract to do my book with them. And that publishing actually ended up getting bought out. So when my book was about to come out from them, they were bought out.
Okay.
So that's why it's on Amazon now. But it went through their process of editing, cover, formatting, all that stuff. So, and that's about a year process alone.
So
So
I guess who's the publisher then releasing the book, or is it self-published?
it's self-published now, but it was going to be with Pennant Publications. They're the one that put it all together, all that, and then, like I said, they were bought out, and then
Okay.
it didn't end up getting released with them. So
So how is that working then? So is it pretty much you footing the bill for everything then?
no, because everything was completed, so I just had to put it out there on Amazon now. So
As far as like the printing and everything though, like the actual
uh,
copies?
so when that works, Amazon covers like the printing cost and all that, and
Okay.
then you get like a royalty base. So
Okay, cool.
so
So
yeah, you don't.
how long
Oh,
have you
sorry.
had it out for sale then?
It actually just released October 10th was when I published it.
Okay, so it ended up working out perfect here, right for the month of October with
Yeah.
is there anything like Halloween related or is it all just things in that,
It,
realm, I guess?
just kind of that realm. It's just different compile of different like horror stories. I'm a big Stephen King fan.
Yeah.
So kind of,
So
in that genre, I guess.
so maybe there's some influence there from Stephen
Yeah,
King.
yeah.
He does make some wild movies, that's for sure.
He does. Yeah, he's the king of horror. So
So I guess give me and maybe the audience like a sneak peek. Like what's one of the ones that when you think about the book and you go back to it, like what's one of the ones you feel like's the best and give us like a premise of one of the your what you think is a better story in that book.
okay. Let's see. I'm flipping through right now. Uh, there's one called Last Call. It's the third one on here, but it's a guy that struggles with alcoholism, and he
Mhm.
makes a deal with the devil to quit drinking. But things don't exactly, go his way because
Right.
the deal with the devil. So that's a pretty good one. Um,
How you had 12 stories. How long is the book? So like how long is each story?
so each story's probably about like 15 to maybe 25 pages or so. So
Yeah,
they're
so
not
like a quick read
super long.
almost. You could read
Yeah,
them in
yeah.
one sitting.
Then it's about 169 pages, I think, all said and done. So
So I guess now here you are, you're releasing your first book. It's 10-year process.
yeah.
Yeah. Obviously you want to see how this one goes, see how the sales go, but like do you think being that you've already went through the process once, are you gonna start writing more?
I'm in middle of writing a novel that's a different beast in its own. Like this
Yeah,
one's all short stories, and this you got to kind of lengthen.
right.
So it's a different monster. But hopefully I finish that up and able to get that out. So
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like every time you get an idea, do you start and then kind of like keep rotating or what's your process to, you
so
know, work on the
there.
best stuff, I guess?
Yeah, I get ideas all the time, and I'm like, oh, that'd be a good story, be a good book. Then it's just kind of picking, I guess, which ones stick with you, what you want to try and write. But you'll see something or something will happen, and you're just like, that'd be a good story. Then obviously you put kind of like a darker twist on it. But
Yeah.
so
So, I mean, again, the show's called Rabbit Holes because my interview style is probably not what it's supposed to be, and we go in and out and back and forth and all that stuff.
yeah,
We're kind of going back now, but like I want to ask more about like the like when you reached out to the publishers.
hmm
Like, is that like a total cold call process? Like you're reaching out to someone you have no idea who they are somewhere. Like, hey, I have a book. Is it like is it like that? Is that how you start, or do you have
uh,
con?
so the bigger guys like Penguin Publishing, them, Random House.
Right.
They won't even look at you unless you have an agent, and an agent typically won't look at you unless you're already published.
Yeah.
So,
So it's like a difficult
y-
battle.
yeah, yeah. But then there's a lot of indie publishers and stuff, and you'll reach out to them yourself, and you'll put up like a synopsis of your book, query letter, your bio, and just kind of send it out and hope, they're interested in it and get back to you. So
Yeah, so I'll let you do this again through the show, but I don't think I gave you an opportunity up front. Why don't you tell anyone that's listening, like, kind of where your platform, your profile, like where you can buy the book? Why don't you? We'll probably do it again later in the show, but go ahead
yeah,
and get
yeah.
that shout out right now.
So my author page is on Facebook. You can just look me up, Ransom D Coslett. I think I'm the only one on there, so that'll pull up my author page. And then as far as books, you can go to amazon.com/author/ransomd.coslett, and that'll pull up my author central page that has, my book on it that you can buy in Kindle or paperback.
Have you traveled at all with the book or the promotion of it, or is it kind of just all like what you're doing right now, just looking for opportunity to get it out there?
Kind of what I'm doing right now, just looking for opportunities. I plan to do some, events like conventions and stuff, hopefully next year, set up a booth, try and sell some books, stuff like that. But
Yeah,
haven't done any of that yet.
I've talked to there was a guy that was publishing comic books, and then I actually am talking to another one later this week. But he mentioned like that circuit, and
Yeah.
selling them. I don't know. That'd be a tough gig though, especially when you got your full time job on top of it. It'd be tough to travel and stay in hotels and hope to sell something when you don't have many things lined up. I don't. It'd be tough, but I
It
mean, you
it
never
would be,
hurt.
yeah. A lot of it, word of mouth. Hopefully people enjoy it, and tell other people they enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, well, and again, I mean, it's not that you can't sell that year round, but I mean, it is a good time for something like that. So, yeah, I
Exactly.
mean,
Yeah, it's
I
spooky
respect what
season
you're
right
doing.
now.
Just trying
So
to
I'll
get it
just
out there, man. That's
yeah.
all you can do, right? How is
Yeah.
it sold so far? Thus far, like, what's your results?
It's not bad. I mean, I've sold, I'm in probably double digits right now.
Yeah.
So people are starting to get them in the mail and shout out to me and stuff. So it's been pretty cool.
But, like you're experiencing now, it's got, and I'm experiencing it too. When you start something fresh like this, I mean, there's gotta be a huge learning curve. I mean, because now you're in it and, like, every day you're probably picking up something new and learning something new, and, if it ever comes around again, you do another book, I'm sure it's gonna be much smoother, but it takes a
Exactly.
while
Yeah.
to do it.
Luckily so far there haven't been any big bumps where I'm like, oh wow, I should have done this, So
Yeah.
biggest thing, like I said, just trying to promote it right now, just get the word out there. So
Yeah, well, I hope that, I can play a role in that. I'd love to see the book get some more, eyes on it and, get some more people interested 'cause, hey, people have time to kill, especially with it changing, not as many things to do out there. Things cost a little bit more nowadays, so
they do. Yeah. And it's an easy read. Like you said, it's spooky season right now. So it's a perfect read. So,
yeah, exactly. I mean, is there kinda like a music? I don't even know if they put parental advisory on music anymore, but is there any kind of, like, age bracket on the book?
Not really. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, there's some blood and gore.
Yeah,
Not all of it. It's not crazy blood gore or anything, but it's horror. So
probably like a
definitely,
PG-13 based on what's out there today on TV, right?
yeah, yeah, probably at least, 13 up.
So do
So
you watch a lot of movie, TV like that?
I do. I watch a lot of horror movies. That's kind of my thing.
So, my wife's very big into that genre as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not so much but, now that I'm with her, I am. But, like, what I've been kinda finding is we have kids, and we're starting to let it slide
Mhm.
more and more and more and letting them watch the stuff younger and younger and younger, and I'm like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. I mean, some of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff, for example, they watch Stranger Things. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not as bad, but still, it's pretty bad for, younger
For
children,
the little kid, yeah, definitely horror elements to it.
but they seem to like it, so I ain't gonna worry too much about it just yet. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, my same thing. My wife, she gets kind of dragged to go in the movies with me and stuff to watch, the horror.
Yeah.
Um, but if it's too much for her, my brother-in-law, he goes and watches them with me. So me and
So
him.
it makes a big difference, doesn't it? Like, seeing it in the movie theater versus, sitting on your couch and watching it. I mean, don't get me wrong, they could still be good movies, but it's a big
Yeah.
difference in the
Oh yeah.
theater.
Yeah, and the theater in my town has the leather seats. They're
Oh yeah.
heated, recliner. So I mean, it's perfect.
Now I will say I have a friend of mine here that has a movie theater in his basement, and
Oh,
he's
that's
got a
awesome.
great sound system, like a huge what do you call
The surround sound.
the projector. He's got a
Okay,
projector
projector.
with a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
screen. I mean, and that you can't beat that. I mean, that's just as good as a movie because it's so close and so loud. I mean, he has
yeah.
reclining couches and but yeah, that's one of my goals. When one day I'm gonna get make some money, I'm gonna have my own movie theater.
Oh yeah,
That's
no, that'd be awesome. That'd be living life.
so now that we're talking about it, I was just thinking, like, what do you do, for example, like right now we're in the middle of a conversation or you're in the
Mhm.
middle of your day at work and you see something, you're like, dang, that's pretty funny. I could maybe write something about that.
Yeah.
Do you just kind of get in your phone and write down a little note?
No, it just kind of sticks in my head, honestly.
Okay.
It's like, a little seed that gets planted and, if it
Yeah.
bugs you enough, you'll start writing about it. So,
Yeah, I don't, I'm not a writer, but like I said, I've been, messing around with things like the stories and
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of I like different genres. Like you said, I like the what would you call your genre of your book? Is that horror?
I'd probably call it horror, yeah. I mean, it's like I said, it's not super like gory or anything like that, but it's, I guess it'd fall in the horror lines.
So like yeah, horror, mystery.
Yeah, kind of thriller type stuff. So
Did you see the movie have you seen Nope yet?
I've seen Nope. Yeah, I went to theater, saw that.
On a 1 to 10 rating, what would you have given that movie?
Uh, like I said, I run a movie blog too. I think is what me and you were talking, not on here, but that's
Uh-huh.
one of the movies I rated. Trying to think what I gave it. I think I gave it like an 8 out of 10.
Do you have a is that like a uh platform you have where you do
Yeah,
that? What's that
y-
called?
it's kingsblog dot
Okay.
movie dot blog,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it's just movies I go and watch, and I just write about it. And it's nothing big. I got probably maybe like 20 followers or something, but
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
something I like doing.
and that's kind of, the followers thing. Um, here's what I'll say about it. Anybody that watches this show and is listening to this, I would ask that, you do like or subscribe or comment, if you can. But, part of it too is I want that because I just want to get more people, more eyes on this because
Yeah,
um, my goal, is to kind of make it, you know, uh, I don't know, inclusive is maybe the word. I don't know, but like, I want to interview the audience on here. Like, for example,
yeah,
I want people like you and others to watch the show, and then, if I talk about, horror books or whatever, and then maybe you can reach out and be like, hey, I just wrote a horror book. I want to come on. And
yeah, yeah,
that's how
definitely.
I want to grow the audience and grow the guests is just by the people that, happen to come across things and say, for example, I have a guy that I'm bringing on to talk about DB Cooper. We're going to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about DB Cooper. Um, I had the guy Tex from Texas Front Porch on here the other day. We were talking about Bigfoot, and then I had Ryan Edwards on here who wrote a book about that stuff about cryptids.
yeah,
But like that's the thing, like we sit here and we talk, and in passing we may talk about we talked about the giant sloth man. I might
yeah,
have
yeah,
someone come on here. Hey, teach us about the giant sloth man. It could be
yeah,
anything. That's the
yes,
funnest part is we could have any topic, anywhere, any reason, and if we just happen to have the one person that listens to the show that is an expert or has a blog about it or knows about
yeah.
it, they can come on here and we'll talk about it because we can talk about whatever we want.
Oh yeah. I actually have a couple of the stories in here. One's a Bigfoot story, and
Okay.
I have another one that's kind of in the cryptids. It mentions a few cryptids in it. It's the costume circus where this kid gets a costume and he can't take it off. But so
Yeah, I mean that's cool though. So I came into this with like, no what would be a good word to say? I had no expectations, I guess. Yeah.
yeah,
So when I started it, I started looking around for, people to talk to. Like, finding guests is tough in the beginning because, you have no eyes on it. You talk to your friends and they're like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, now I can't do it. I'll do it, whatever.
yeah,
That's kind of what happens. So, when I went into like different places to find community members to talk about things, like for example, Bigfoot, Um, the communities have been so nice. I mean, it's been so much fun talking to them because it's so, even if you don't necessarily believe in whatever they're
Mhm.
saying or talking about, it's just entertaining to hear all the different stories that are out there. Because now I've been talking like DB Cooper. I'm going to bring people
Yeah.
on to talk about DB Cooper. I've had 3 or 4 different experts and their different versions of it, and they're. I mean, everybody can make their own opinion. I just want to bring them all on here and hear the different.
And
You
talk
know,
about it, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's wild how many things have so many different tales and versions and
Yeah,
storylines. Oh boy. So when we were talking prior to talking about your book, uh, we're kind of going to move on from that. Before we leave, we may come back, but is there
yeah.
anything else you wanted to kind of to say about the book? Just so one more time, give us the title, where it's at, just so everybody that is listening knows where it's
Yeah.
at.
So,
Clear is it?
again, After Midnight, 12 Terrifying Stories. You can find it on Amazon under amazon.com/author/Ransom D Coslett.
All right. Yep. For audience members, please give Ransom a look. Check it out. Any age group too, right? I mean, high school,
Yeah,
college.
right. High school and up. Yeah.
So that's kind of what he's doing. Yeah, I wanna see the sales hopefully get a little better for you here. Be on some
Yeah. Yeah.
podcasts
Definitely.
and talk to some people and find some new viewers,
Yeah.
readers.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely.
so changing topics, sports, once in a while we talk about the ultimate homer. I call it the
Mhm.
hashtag ultimate homer. And I mean, if anybody deserves it, it's probably you. Because you told me about your 2 teams and both of them right now are doing about as good as they can be doing. So,
Yeah. Both undefeated right now.
so go ahead and tell us like of the 2 teams. So you're a volunteer, Tennessee
Mhm.
Volunteers, Philadelphia.
And yep.
So of the 2, or are you going to say both? Which of them realistically do you think has a chance to go, towards the end, either a national championship
I think
playoff
that
or a
I
Super
think
Bowl?
I think the Eagles.
Okay.
You know, Vols, it's Heupel's second year. And everybody had good expectations for us, but I don't think anybody really saw us beating Bama and being 7-0 right now.
Who's your
But the
quarterback?
Hendon Hooker.
Okay, is he new?
No, it's his second year. He transferred
Okay.
in from Virginia Tech.
Okay. Got it.
Um, then as far as the Eagles, we've had the pieces, and then they did Howie Roseman did some offseason acquisitions. Brought in Brown. And then we have Devontae Smith, obviously paired with him. Then beefed up the defense. So them on paper, I think we could go all the way before even the season started. So
I mean, just in my, I'm no expert, but just in my opinion, that division, I mean, I don't know that the Giants are that good.
yeah,
Is the record they have, and that's just
yeah.
my opinion. I love Saquon, but
Mhm.
um, I just I don't know about them. And then the Redskins and well, I guess you got the Cowboys. I don't know.
Yeah, Cowboys are always good on paper, but they never, amount to much. I mean, I'm not a Cowboys fan, obviously, but
Yeah.
they never do much in the long stretch of things. So,
So with your volunteers, did you see that coming at all?
uh, I had us, I was hoping, 10-2,
Yeah.
which still really, really good. But, I was thinking a loss to Bama and to Georgia. But now, since we beat Bama, realistically 11-1, hopefully 12-0 if we can get past Georgia, but that's a big,
I
big
talked
if.
to I talked to a Bama alumni over the weekend, and I talked to him about maybe coming on the show. He was a I forget what position he played, but he played in 1982 in Bear Bryant's last year,
Oh, that's cool.
and he played at my school, Penn State, and he was telling me about a pick six that he dropped, on national television and stuff. So I was thinking that maybe one night I'm gonna have him on here. He's gonna tell us a little bit about it. He said he would, so that should be a good time.
Oh yeah, no, that'll definitely be good.
Oh man. So back to Nope. I guess again the perfect podcast because we talked about it. We left. Now we're back. But
Yeah.
you said it was an 8. I agree. I think that was one of the best movies I've seen in a while. My wife and I went.
Yeah.
I think that was a movie, like, prime example of why you have to see him in the movie theater, because I don't think that movie at home would be as good, but
Mhm.
in the movie theater, it was just, you know, we loved it. We loved every
Oh, yeah.
second.
I thought, the writing was what made it, like, the alien itself kinda looked a little cheesy, I
Yeah,
guess,
it
the
did.
kinda big inflatable, but, the writing, I think, was really, good in that movie, and that's what made it.
I would
So,
agree with that because, looking back on it, I know that I truly don't even know what the alien looked like now that, and I know it was a cloud.
yeah.
I mean, the purple-headed people eater thing and all, like, I was really confused, like, what the monster actually was, you know?
Exactly, yeah, it's kinda like Jaws, but on a bigger spectrum, So, I thought that was kinda cool angle.
Yeah. I mean, and that's I know it's not like this, but, Jordan Peele, like, where does he come up with these ideas, you know? It has to be ideas where he's just sitting there and he's like, "Oh, cloud. Oh, that could be an alien." And then he just,
Yeah.
like, how do these I would love to hear this. He probably did a podcast or something about it. I'll have to look, but, like, how they come up with these ideas.
Yeah, and that I mean, for me, that's kinda how it is too, like, just something dumb like that, you'd be like, "Oh, yeah, that could be an alien hiding there," and then you just start creating a story just, like,
Yeah,
based
that's what
around that, so
we started doing that on the sloth one because, like I said, my buddy had he's he had dreams about a giant sloth man. So now we're writing like a mock story about this giant sloth man, and maybe
that's awesome, yeah.
because I mean, we're I guess if I'm okay with asking, how old are you?
I'm, 33.
Okay, so you're right around the same age as me.
Mhm.
So when we get to this point, you don't have any kids though?
I do, I have a, 18
Okay,
month old son, so
so you have a wife and children just like
Mhm.
me. I mean, you get to an age where it's like, and I don't know what you did in your 20s, but I can tell you, me in my 20s, I went out, went to bars, we drank
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
weekends, tailgated. Well, now with kids everywhere running around, we can't do that. So, like,
No.
now, like, this podcast and, like, coming on here and talking to friends or on other podcasts, those are the things that are fun now because the other things just aren't aren't an option. I just
Yeah,
got back from a T-ball game. I was watching not 3 and 4, so they must be 5 and 6. Yeah, 5 and 6, and they still don't know the rules of baseball and can't get anybody out, and it's just a bunch of kids running around playing in dirt, but
yeah.
I coached this year, so, hey, I'm there. I got 1 or 2 more games, and then it'll be over with, but
That's awesome.
I think it's too young, man. I've done some coaching for my kids, and I've
Mhm.
found that, like, the older ones are a little better. Uh,
Yeah.
I liked coaching my kid's basketball team. He's in, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I did it all those years, and, like, as they get older, you can kinda play along with them, they get more competitive, and it's fun to do it right there with them because you still feel like you're, like, the tall kid, and you still kinda beat up on them. 8th,
Yeah.
ninth grade, they get a little bit better, and then they can kinda beat you,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, the opposite of that's the baseball, what I'm doing right now. Like, 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old kids, no, I can't do it. Not anymore. They're just
Yeah.
too they don't take that stuff in. Do you call yourself a cook?
The cook? I mean, I know how to cook, I don't cook a whole lot, though.
Uh, so, yeah, we like, sharing some go-to recipes, so that might be perfect for you, though. So if you're not that good at one, so, like, what's one of the things you do cook well? Like, that you would say is your go-to dish if, like, the
I
wife's
mean,
late, you have to do something.
I can make chicken. I
There
make
you
pretty good chicken, I can make, cream corn pretty good,
go. Yeah, there we
yeah,
go.
I mean,
Put it on
I
the
can cook,
table, right?
not a big cook, though.
That's alright,
I
man.
do I do like some Gordon Ramsay, but,
So are you, so 33 with a child, are you starting to feel old?
um, um, yeah, I think the oldest I felt, it was weird, was, like, 25. I don't
Okay.
know why, but, like, 25, I felt old, and then, after that, I was okay, but
Well, 25 is, like, one of the only ages that matters because 'cause isn't that, like, when car insurance drops or something?
yeah, yeah, just I don't know, maybe just, half of, a quarter of a century or whatever, just something about after that, I was fine, but I did feel old at 25.
So something we like sharing on here is, I say this thing like we like sharing on here. It's like me and a few people have talked about it, but I like saying it. So we talk about old man things.
Mhm.
So, like, for example, do you by chance have a pair of jeans that you wear outside to do like yard work and stuff, and it's like one pair of jeans that you wear like every time?
Yeah, I mean, I have like my work
Okay.
jeans, I guess I'd call
Yeah,
them,
old man jeans. Yeah. All right. You got any like other funny old man things that like maybe your wife makes fun of you for?
No, not really. I mean, sounds kind
Okay.
of
You'll,
boring,
you'll
but
start looking at it and thinking about it more, and
yeah, I was
then
gonna say, yeah, that's something I'd have to like think about,
that's an
but
old man thing.
yeah.
Tell me about if you're okay talking about it. You teach tennis,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm a tennis pro.
so did you like play professionally, semi-professionally?
So I played, through high school, played through college.
Okay.
I was in college on an athletic scholarship. Coached as assistant coach a couple of years, and then I started working as a teaching pro. So I've been doing that for about 9 years now.
So as far as tennis, like I play against my father-in-law, and he's in his
Mhm.
70s now, and he's so accurate, and he doesn't even have to move, and he still whoops my ass.
Yeah.
So like, is a big part of being good at tennis the accuracy? It has to be, right?
I mean, placement typically beats power. It's good to
Yeah.
have both worlds, but if you can, place the ball well, you're going to beat someone that can just hit it and not place it.
'Cause like I said, he's mid-70s, his knees
Yeah.
are shot, but, like, he'll sit right there in that same spot and just every time back and forth, he'll
Yeah.
get it
So
every time.
some of those old guys are very tough. They slice it, where they want to, serve out wide, drop shot you, lob you. I mean, they're tough.
So, I mean, I mean, I talked about coaching, like, the T-ballers and stuff, so if you do the tennis, I mean, it has to get frustrating, right? I mean, how do you find ways to break through to, like, the people you're coaching and teaching, like, when they don't get it? Like,
um,
it
you
takes a
know,
lot of, patience, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty patient. I've had a lot of parents tell me, that I have like the patience of Job. They're always telling me, but I think part of it is I love what I do. So
Yeah.
I'm outside. Nice weather normally, besides summer.
Right.
And just teaching tennis. I mean, I love it. So
Yeah. I mean, do you still, like, do you play competitively, I guess? Are you in any leagues or anything like that?
I don't play much anymore. I used to play a lot of tournaments and stuff still.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll play in a league or something because someone, will rope me into it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
then I'll play tournament every now and then, but
That's like, golf. I'm fairly decent at golf, but, like, I don't enjoy it anymore for, like, competitions. Like, I
yeah,
enjoy it to have fun, like, in scrambles and things like that, but I don't enjoy it to be competitive anymore. Because I'm the type of person where I do pretty good, but I have, like, one hole where I do terrible, and it blows up my whole game. So that's why
yeah,
I don't like, competitive stroke play golf or anything like that anymore. I won't even go if it's, like, something like that. I'm over it. I don't have the time to practice.
yeah. I mean, I still, enjoy it, but a lot of it, like you said, being married, having a kid, especially 18-month
Okay.
old, I have one day off, which is Sunday. So I'd
Yeah,
rather spend it with the family now versus, going playing somewhere.
so I guess you said that, again, rabbit holes, back to it. Um, it took you 10 years to finish the book.
hmm
So for the last 3 years since you've had the child, you guys have just been getting it out on the market, I guess. So, like, have you still been writing, like, new stuff?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm in the middle of working on like a longer book, which, I won't go much detail about that. But it's kind of like a creature feature, I guess,
Okay.
um,
So I guess
but
when my question, what I was leading up to there is, like, when do you find the time to do that with the wife and kid?
yeah,
Is it like a late night thing, early morning thing?
normally it's a late night thing. I'm
Yeah,
not a morning person.
right.
I'm kind of a night owl anyway. So a
Okay.
lot of times, I'll just sit on the couch and just write a little bit. I'm not a fast writer, so I just kind of plug away each day.
Yeah, that's kinda what this is my, we call it my podcast time. So after 8 o'clock, I'm allowed to kinda come up to my office and do what I wanna do with the podcast. The
Yeah,
wife has given authorization and permission, so, thank her for that, but, I can't do it any other time. She just won't have it.
yeah, yeah.
Because in the end, she's in charge. I wish I could say anything different, but she's in charge. Oh man, but yeah. So I mean, well, Ransom. I mean, I'm glad that I got to get you on here tonight. Like I
Yeah,
said,
no, I
quickly.
appreciate it. Said hopefully gets more eyes, on my book and everything. So
Yep. And in the end, like I said, that's kind of what this show's all about. It's you and I got to hang out here tonight, talk a little bit, meet each other. It was cool. Um, and I want people to understand like that's what this channel and platform is about. Like it's
mhm.
about I want my first shot, I guess, with this podcast. You're on here trying to get your first shot with your book. I want other people to come on here with their, you know, I don't know if I'll talk to people with inventions or new channels. Some other people with authors coming on. We had that Alabama football player is going to come on, but I'm sure it's going to be a hodgepodge of pretty much anything and everything. But that's I'm not tied into
That's cool,
anything. I have no topic. I have no rules. It's pretty much come on here and do whatever we want. Well, I told my wife we're gonna give it like a year. I'm gonna go hard at it for a year.
Mhm.
Try to get a lot of content out there. Hopefully, build a following of some sort. And then if after a year it's still pretty bleak, maybe we'll reconsider. But for now, we're just gonna go strong and just keep talking to new people, learning new things, and having fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up here tonight. It was a short one, but that's really last minute, so we didn't have a lot of things to prepare for. But really, the main thing I wanted to get across was your book,
Yeah.
yeah, After Midnight: 12 Terrifying Stories. Um, available on Amazon, like he said. Um, you got your Facebook page. I'm looking at it right now, so be sure to
Mhm.
follow along with him on there. You'll put any updates out there on us. You'll
Oh
put
yeah.
any updates on there for us, right, as they come out.
Oh
Gonna
yeah,
have a new
definitely.
book down the road. Uh, I can't read long books like that anymore. I'll be honest with you, Ransom. So when that one comes out, I don't know, like maybe a synopsis of it. But the 12 short stories, I could do that one.
Oh yeah, you could do that. It's a quick, easy read, and I hope you enjoy it if you do. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And like I said, I know my missus enjoys that stuff, and hey,
well,
it's an
there you
older
go.
kid.
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, so that's it. One more time, give them your exact website, and then I'll say goodbye to you, and I'll say goodbye to the audience right after that. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Again, Amazon.com/author/Ransom D Coslett. Coslett is how you spell my last name. For Facebook, search same thing, Ransom D Coslett. It'll pull up my author page. And if you are interested in movie reviews, kingsblog.movie.blog. So majority is horror movies, but I do have an array of different movies that I go out and see, and I'll
Hey,
talk about it and rate them. So
no worries. I'd be happy to have you back. We had fun talking. If you ever do another book, or maybe we'll bring you on and talk about movie reviews one time because we
yeah,
we
no,
do that here and
yes,
there.
that sounds good. Yeah, I had a good time. Reach out anytime, and appreciate it. So
Will do. Ransom, thanks again, sir. If you don't mind hanging out in the back here, I'll just say goodbye to the audience, and then
yeah,
we'll talk one
definitely.
more time. All right, Ransom D Coslett. Thank you very much, sir. Book is After Midnight: 12 Terrifying Stories, available on Amazon. And to everyone that stuck around, thank you very much. We did have fun tonight, and again, this show is just learning the things that you don't already know, and just talking to people that you haven't met, and learning things about them. We just learned a little bit about him and the writing process and when he finds time to do it. And like I said, I mean, anybody can do anything, if they want to. It's just a matter of finding time for it, finding the right opportunity, and that's kind of what this platform is. It's talking to these people and trying to create our own opportunity, I guess you can say. Um, and that's Rabbit Holes. So again, thanks for joining. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, whatever you do on the platform you're on that we're on. And more than anything, I ask that please comment, reach out, let us know what sort of things you want to hear, or maybe if you want to be a guest and come on and talk about it. Love to have you on. Anything and everything. There are no rules. I'll say it one more time. It's a 1-hour car ride with somebody you don't know. You know they know something about a topic, and then we kind of take it from there. So again, stay tuned for the next episode. I've got 2 or 3 more taping this week, and we'll get them out as quick as we can. Thanks again to Ransom D Coslett. This is LUDE Presents Rabbit Holes.
Hold my tongue never. I say what I feel. Look you in the eye. Never ran, never will. Hold my own destiny. Both hands on the wheel. In the darkness they found light. So at the top of your lungs scream, this ain't life. So when they move left, you move right. You move right. Hold my tongue never. I say what I feel. Look you in